Bonjour, mes amis. Today's issue is dedicated to betting brokerage. So we have mostly been focused down to casinos, but as you know, betting brokerage and overage betting term is very interesting to some of you also. So I was thinking to shed some light into how betting brokerage works, and I'm starting from the idea that it goes by several names, Apart from betting brokerage, you may find like Skype brokerage and so on. It's mostly used for those interested in arbitrage or ARP brokerage or sure betting or value betting. So we have those three categories or two categories which are really attract attention of to the idea of betting brokerage. So the first and the most obvious reason for betting brokerage is to be able to supply lots of bets, lots of bookmakers to those who are interested in arbitrage betting. So arbitrage betting is making money on difference on odds in, for example, if you bet on win outcome, on lose outcome, on draw outcome. So it's a sure bet, is a way to make sure bet, because the bookmaker would put odds such high that would allow for no risk betting. So you put bet in favor, and right away you cover a position by placing an opposite bet. So it means that you make money nevertheless of the outcome. So arbitrage betting is really interesting in case of this betting brokerage, because betting brokerage would provide you an access to Asian markets which have good odds or better odds on sport events, especially on the Asian League and so on. So you have more options for this arbitrage betting. So I also made the notion of value betting, and the value betting is another concept that would calculate by some internal mechanisms the underpriced bets, or the ones in which bookmakers set the probability of this event is higher or lower, but the true probability of event as calculated by a software is different, as an opportunity for making money there. So these are kind of value bets or underpriced bets, and you can extract value by making bet in favor of some events. So the idea of value betting is that actually it only can be realizable over the distance. So it's a kind of sports trading or automatic betting procedure when you don't think, you just spot some value, statistically valuable opportunities and make bets, and over time, say couple of months, you make some 15% per annum on this bet. You lose, you win, and so on. Alright, as I was saying, another name for betting brokerage is Skype betting. Skype betting is apart from brokerage, apart from which is using someone else's account for making your bets. So you not only use someone else's account, you use your personal assistant and so on. So Skype betting is for high value players, for high rollers. So it at least required you to make a minimum stake of €1,000, and then you go for it. So obviously, if you use someone else's account, you pay with your mostly credit cards, crypto, or bank transfers. It is done on trust. So there's no obvious guarantees and so on. So it's done on trust. But several companies like Bet in Asia, they work for ages, tens of years, and it's kind of okay. But I'm not soliciting any of them services and so on. So apart from being built on trust, it is advertised as having best odds and high limits. So high limits, one of the strong points of justification of this idea of betting brokerage is that obviously in some if it's a normal account with normal bookmaker. So on some events you cannot place high bets because there simple might be enough liquidity in place, and the bookmaker would not try to would try to balance a book, so it would not allow some tens of thousands of euros bets on a small match in a second or third league. So obviously it's not possible, but if you have an idea of doing this, you go for betting brokerage, and this is the major reason some people go for it, except for providing an opportunity for arbitrage betting, for getting you more arbitrage opportunities. It's also good for high limit stakes, which means that you can stake 10,000 euro and on your site in one just click, and it goes like this. It's fine if you like this kind of things. So there's obviously some minimal stakes, and another good idea about betting brokerage is that they allow players from virtually all over the world, except for France, US. Some allow US, some even allow UK, and so on and so on. And from their lists of options, most of them are arbitrage-friendly bookmakers. So another testimony in favor of the whole idea of betting and brokerage is about arbitrage, about high stakes. So it's nearly professional betting for the people who like to exercise these opportunities. And there might be also some extras. For example, the big betting brokerage have their own exchanges between users, so then they don't even need bookmakers in place. Coming down to the strong points of justification, we mentioned that they allow high stakes limits. So it means that you can make in advance, before a couple of days or even weeks before a sports event, you can make big bets on it, which is not virtually allowed in bookmaker, and at least not until a couple of hours before the event. And technically, you can obviously achieve this goal by splitting your money into several accounts in the normal bookmaker, but it takes time and takes even money, and so it's not really effective. So another point for effectiveness is that you acting fast. So when you extract this opportunity to find the opportunity for brokerage, for arbitrage, you would go fast. So it means that you have one click, you make a centralized betting, you make it from one centralized betting account, and it works nicely. And the third reason for using that is the brokerage idea is moved by turnover. So they build on turnover, they make money on turnover. So they're not really interested in what you do, win or lose. They make money on your turnover, and their ideal customer is a person who deposits, withdraw fast, withdraw often, and a person who plays bets, plays stakes, accumulates large turnover over the time. Right. So it means that you may have your common goals with these people, with betting brokers. Also, some of them have a quite nice programming interface, which which is helpful for value betting. You can even enter your stake and your minimum odds and wait until your stake is accepted when these conditions are met. So it's kind of nice for automatic or semi-automatic trading, sports trading. And they are, as I was saying, they are advertised for having the best odds, but sometimes it's not necessary, because if they have a volume or price. So volume, it means you can make big stakes, or price, you can have best odds. So it's not all the time all in one place, but sometimes it can happen. All right, so what is the pricing? The final thing is that the pricing is based on fee for bets. It may be different because the brokerage, they have a whole portfolio of bookmakers, bet exchanges also. So it mostly varies from 3% to probably 1.5% on winning bets. Sometimes it can be on both winning and losing bets and so on and so on. So you, on average, you will have 2 to 3% of your turnover that you have to pay to a brokerage for, as a kind of compensation for the whole system, for the whole service. And also there's a withdrawal fee closer to 2% on most of the withdrawal means. If you deposit with credit cards, you would also require about 2% for deposit fee. So this is a kind of structure of pricing that you will have with these brokers. I hope these things were instructive to you. I hope you liked it. If you do, please put like to my videos. If you have questions or comments, you can ask it here, or drop me an email if you need my private answer. Thank you for watching. Bye.